Hello and welcome to this week's edition of FX Addicts Currency Market Update. Today is April 6, 2012, and this is for the first week of April. And we had quite a week today, this week, quite a bit of volatility. The euro ending the week up on the day slightly, about 30 pips, but down on the week quite a bit. The last 4 days have been down pretty much the whole week except for today. So really a pretty good sell-off. We've come down now to an area here where we should find a little bit of support and really expect it to maybe bounce around here for a day or two and then probably try and breach through this support level. It's been down here now. This will be the fourth time. So really don't expect it to hold the fourth time through, especially with the most recent downward move that we've had. On a weekly basis, well, we ran up above this upper channel line here just briefly at the end of last week and then the beginning of this week, and we've fallen right back down. So we've eclipsed now the last 3 weeks closes. Very bearish kind of sign. Really expect this to continue on for at least a couple more weeks and quite possibly for an extended period of time, much like it did back here. Really looking forward to get down probably to around the 120 area or the lower end of this channel line. And it may take a couple of months for that to happen, but nonetheless, it still looks like it'll do it. Now for the month, only 1 week into the month, and we've pretty much eclipsed all of last week's range, all of last month's range. So really is very bearish all of a sudden, taking on quite a bearish tone. Was looking for it maybe to have popped up a little bit this month and then fallen off, but it does not look like that's going to happen, at least not right now. Of course, this is still the first week of the month, so a lot can happen. British pound against the dollar. We've rallied up quite a bit here. Give me 1 second. We got a lot of stuff on here we shouldn't have. And we'll take that off of there. We rallied up for today about 57 pips, but the last 3 days we sold off quite a bit as well. And we've kind of come below this trend line here that we have in here. Really not much of a trend line, but nonetheless, it's still somewhat of a supportive issue, and we broke through that a couple of days ago. And really sold off a little bit more the last 2 days, and now we're trying to recover back a little bit. Overall, though, it still looks fairly bearish on a short-term basis. And as we look at the weeklies, we can see that this week and last week, very much the same, only this week is a negative week. So we could have now a couple of weeks where we sell off. Technically, we could get all the way back down here to this trend line, which is now about just under 153. It really should have rallied to about 162.50, 163, and we have not done that. So since that failure, if that failure continues, then if we go lower now next week, very unlikely that we're going to rally back to that 162.50, 163 mark. And if we look at the monthlies, we can see how this might play out a little bit more. It really will be a kind of a false start here to this little bit of 3-week rally that we have going, or 3-month rally, I should say, we have going. So we eclipse last month's lows, then we'll most certainly end up down here around this 153.50 area. And get down there probably fairly quickly too, within a month or two. U.S. dollar against the Swiss franc. Today giving back a little bit, down 27 pips, but we had a nice 4-day rally here this week right from the onset, and really coming right out of this little hole that there was. We didn't really find a whole lot of support in this area, but nonetheless it was more or less a test of these lows down here. So now we have to get back up above these highs, which really is about the 93.50 area. So we could get up there sometime in the next couple of weeks. If we look at the weeklies here, we can see how we had that spike high there that week, and then we sold off for a couple more weeks after that. So now this week showing a lot of strength here. And next week, hopefully, we'll close up near those highs, and then the following week we could really rally up again and maybe go for new highs. So longer term still looks very positive. We've had a slight correction here now for 2-3 months. So this month now could be a very big rallying month, get us up above these highs where we were, the 95, 96 area, and we can close out April above that. That'd be very positive. We can then make a move to the to this trend line area, which is about 103, 104 area. U.S. dollar against the Japanese yen, selling off quite strongly today, down 81 pips. And for the week, really having a mixed bag here. A lot of up and down, a lot of volatility. So it looks like we're probably at the end here of this little corrective phase. Maybe a little bit more of a sell-off down to the 80-50 area next week, and that should be about it. And then we can start moving back up and go for new highs. Now, on a weekly basis, this actually looks pretty good. We got a little bit of a flagging pattern going here, so nice bullish move up after this would be certainly wonderful. And on the monthlies, we can see how we've pretty much come down to last month's beginning point or starting point. So we're very close to that. Expect us to get down to that point and then rally back up towards the end of the month. Overall, though, still looks very much intact as far as the upward trend goes. Euro Swiss, we are selling off again today. We've sold off all week, down 7 pips right now today. It did go through the 120 floor that the S&P has set yesterday. It went through there yesterday, and they stepped right in and bought it up. So it looks like we're probably going to experience a lot more of that from the S&P as we get as that 120 level pushes closer and closer. So they have said many times, including yesterday, that they will vigorously defend that 120 area. The question remains, though, is at what point do they say, all right, we're going to seek a newer, higher level, and they could push it then to 125 or 130 and call that the new floor. Euro against the yen, selling off quite vigorously today as well, down 74 pips. Getting down into an area now of some pretty good support, so really look forward to bounce out of here. We look at the weeklies, and there's a lot of damage done now in the weeklies. It's actually eclipsing the last 4-week closes, so very strong now on a corrective phase here. And if we look at the monthlies, we can see that this month now is already very close to eclipsing last month's range. So there's a lot of damage here. Really had thought that it had run up to about the 112, 113 area, this upper trend line. Probably will not do that now. Market is very weak over longer term, so was kind of hoping it'd run up there, have a nice corrective phase up to that 113 area, and then start to fall back down and get down in the lower 90s area. But it looks like it may do that. It may not run up to that area. So technically, it is weak. That is it for this week. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this, and if you have questions or something, certainly feel free to contact me at www.fxaddicts.com. I am available pretty much 8 to 8 Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. So look forward to talking to you. Thank you.